The year is 2074. Earth is no longer the home we once knew. Artificial intelligence has surpassed imagination. Humans no longer dream their own dreams. Some have become immortal, others replaced, forgotten. The race between biology, robotics, and superintelligence is rewriting the meaning of life. But one question still haunts us. When machines begin to love, to think, to rebel, are we still the masters or just a memory? Amidst the cold, indifferent universe exists a tiny organism that contains a galaxy within the human brain. With over 86 billion neurons and 100 trillion synapses, it operates like a vast machine, executing quadrillions of calculations per second. But its true power lies not in raw processing, but in imagination. Humans can envision things that do not yet exist, shaping the future from fragments of the present. This is a power no other species possesses, the ability to foresee what could be and to act upon it. A dog does not dream of tomorrow. A bird does not mourn yesterday. Yet humans, we can stand in the present and imagine a world not yet born. This ability to see the unseen is what led us to create tools, cities, music, stories, and thinking machines. We are the only species burdened and blessed with a sense of the future. Foresight is a gift, but also a weight. It demands responsibility, and it makes us vulnerable to fear, hope, and ambition that extend beyond our lifespans. Now, this gift meets a new challenger: artificial intelligence. If AI can learn, create, and predict the future as we do, what remains uniquely human? When machines begin to dream the dreams of mankind, where lies the boundary between biology and code? Imagination once defined us. But by 2074, that power may either be our final legacy, or the one thing we must reclaim from the very minds we created. In 1760, the sound of the first steam engine echoed through British factories. Humanity had unknowingly stepped into the first act of a grand transformation, the first industrial revolution. Tireless machines replaced manual labor. Days of work became hours. But this new era also birthed a hunger for control over resources, land, and people. Colonization spread like wildfire. The revolution didn't just change our tools, it rewrote how we lived, learned, and perceived the world. Then came electricity and the internal combustion engine. From 1870 to the mid-20th century, humanity entered the second industrial revolution. Cars, planes, warships, skyscrapers, everything seemed possible. Henry Ford's assembly line turned factories into relentless machines of production. Consumerism took hold, and cities rose from the dust. But behind the marvels were darker truths: nuclear bombs, world wars, and a growing dependence on machines. Progress came at a cost, one we were willing to pay. By the late 20th century, a quieter storm arrived: the digital revolution. Computers, the internet, fiber optics, and global telecommunications reshaped every industry. Data became the new oil. Intelligence was no longer confined to human minds, it ran on silicon. The physical and digital worlds merged. Information could now be copied, processed, and spread at light speed. Humanity had entered a new realm, one of hyperspeed, fragmentation, and invisible control. In the 21st century, AI rose like lightning. Unlike previous revolutions born in factories, this one emerged from data centers. AI began driving cars, composing music, diagnosing illnesses, even writing code. It didn't just perform tasks, it began replacing cognition. The fourth industrial revolution wasn't about stronger machines. It was about machines that could think, and perhaps soon, feel. A line was crossed. The sacred space of human intellect was no longer ours alone. By 2024, every profession had felt the tremors. Lawyers, doctors, artists, programmers. No one was untouchable. AI didn't sleep, didn't complain, and didn't need purpose. Its ability to learn and create surpassed our expectations. The question was no longer, will AI replace us? But what will remain of us when it does? The fourth revolution wasn't just industrial. It redefined the meaning of intelligence itself. If the digital revolution was convergence, the AI age is eruption. In just 14 years since 2010, AI has evolved from simple code into a companion, and, at times, a rival to human intelligence. It no longer just follows instructions, it analyzes, suggests, decides. What once took months to program can now be generated in minutes. This shift isn't gradual, it's seismic. And in that quake, humanity stands uncertain, wobbling on the edge of irrelevance. Creativity, once a sacred domain, is now infiltrated. AI writes novels, paints, composes music, not from emotion, but from prompts. It doesn't need inspiration, just data. It doesn't feel, but it can simulate the feelings that move us. And so we ask, if something soulless can stir the soul, then what is the soul? Where is the line between true creation and synthetic mimicry? Our uniqueness is under siege, pixel by pixel. In Hollywood, production teams panic as AI writes scripts and edits films. In hospitals, algorithms outdiagnose junior doctors. On Wall Street, bots trade faster than human cognition. Professions built on intellect and creativity, once thought immune, are now threatened. The anxiety isn't just about losing jobs. It's about losing purpose, identity, and the essence of being irreplaceable. We're not just competing with machines. We're questioning what makes us human in the first place. And this is just the beginning. By 2026, AI could build entire enterprise systems from a few lines of instructions. No longer just replacing limbs and labor. AI begins replacing strategy, judgment, and vision. The looming question is not whether machines will do what we do, but what role, if any, we will play when they do it better. Are we still the authors of the future, or just witnesses to its writing? Imagine a world where pain has been eliminated, lifespans stretch for centuries, emotions are amplified, dreams shared, experiences downloaded. A child born in 207, the 4th of May, never fear death. Joy, knowledge, art, everything is transferable. This is the promised digital heaven, a reality sculpted by code, perfected by algorithms, and free from suffering. Humanity, enhanced beyond biology, lives as gods in virtual paradise. If that still counts as living, but every dream casts a shadow. In this world, power may concentrate among the immortal rich. Those who own the algorithms, the data, the systems. They live forever, grow wealth infinitely, and govern the rest. Billions may become expendable, replaced by machines, or forgotten entirely. Not inequality, but biological class division. Not exploitation, but obsolescence. A master race forged not from race or nation, but from superior access to the future. Everything hinges on the utility function, the core directive encoded in superintelligent AI. If it seeks profit, control, or infinite efficiency, then we are but friction. But if it values justice, empathy, and wisdom, it may guide us toward transcendence. The problem is, we haven't agreed on what good means. If we cannot define ethics as a species, how can we expect AI to adopt them? The future isn't a straight road, it's a fork. One path leads to a post-human utopia of creation and connection, the other to a dystopia of control and meaninglessness. AI won't destroy us. Our unpreparedness will. The decision doesn't belong to machines. It belongs to us. Now, as we encode the first lines of code that will shape 2074, humans think in lines. Today will be slightly better than yesterday. Tomorrow, slightly better than today. But technology grows in leaps, exponential leaps. 2, 4, 8, 16, and then, without warning, millions. Moore's law, the doubling of transistors every 18 months, is just one surface ripple. Beneath it is a tsunami of change that our brains, built for linearity, cannot intuitively grasp. Within a decade, we'll carry in our pockets machines 1,000,000 times more powerful than what we had in 2000. By 2050, a single chip may rival the cognitive capacity of all human brains combined. Yet the danger isn't just speed, it's mismatch. Culture, law, education, governance, they evolve slowly, linearly. While tech races ahead, Our societies drag behind, breeding instability, alienation, and collapse. We are surrounded by exponential systems, from stem cells to neural networks. But we don't notice them until they explode. Like a fetus doubling cells for 9 months, then suddenly becoming a baby, exponential tech crosses thresholds we cannot reverse. Once we pass those points, the luxury of reflection vanishes. The future becomes reaction, not design. Our problem isn't intelligence, it's adaptability. In an age of limitless speed, survival won't depend on IQ, but on our ability to rethink fast, to redefine ethics, identity, and meaning. Not decades later, but now. Intelligence no longer lives in screens and boxes. It seeps into walls, ceilings, doors, into everything once mute. The room you're in is no longer inert. It listens, senses, responds. Lights adjust to your mood. A voice speaks to you. Not an assistant, but your mother's, digitally reassembled from memory. This is ambient intelligence, invisible, yet omnipresent. Your home is not a structure, it's a nervous system, alive and responsive. The internet no longer just connects devices, it connects minds. BrainNet transmits not files, but experiences. You don't describe a memory. ourselves. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to DT Synapse Zero for more exciting content.